Yarrney.
Hello, welcome to Yarrney. In this tutorial, you will learn how to make this 3D number 2, which is a very easy project. So the materials you will need to do this project are, of course, yarn. I'm using this Big Twist Posh yarn in bulky weight number 5. You can use any type of yarn. If you're using a bigger yarn, the project will simply be bigger. If you're using a smaller yarn, the project will simply be smaller. Other than yarn, I'm of course using crochet hooks. So I'm using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook that goes with my yarn. If you're using a different yarn, just use a crochet hook that suits with your yarn. Some scissors to cut your yarn. Yarn needle, don't worry, there's no sewing at all. It's just to hide the yarn at the very end inside the project. You'll also need some fiber fill or anything you have at home to basically stuff the project here in the middle so you can have this 3D effect. Now, in terms of stitches you will need to know, so you have to know the slip knot and chain, the single crochet, the increase technique, and the decrease technique. So if you're unfamiliar with any of these stitches and technique, do not worry. I will go slow at least once in this tutorial so you can follow along. Otherwise, we do have very slow and detailed tutorial on the Yarrney channel that you can watch if you want to master these stitches and techniques. To do the 3D number 2, we need 2 of these flat number 2s that we will merge together, and then we will do single crochet all around the outside border to join and put some fiber fill in the middle to get the 3D effect. So the number 2 is basically work in 2 parts. So the first part we start from the bottom here going all the way up to this portion here, and just this little small dip here is going to be the second part. As a starting point, we will do a slip knot and chain foundation. So the slip knot, you take the tail end of your yarn, you wrap it around your index finger, you bring it on top of your working yarn like this. So the working yarn here, this is the side that's attached to your ball of yarn. So with your working yarn, you wrap it around your finger again. So then you have 2 loops on your finger. You take the back loop forward and you have your slip knot. Now you just tighten it on your hook and we're ready to do the chain foundation. So we will do a total of 24 chains. So to do a chain, you wrap the yarn around your hook like this, and then you pull the yarn with your hook through this loop on the hook here. So that is 1 chain. And then you just keep doing until you reach 24. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So now that we have our foundation, we're basically ready to start our rows. So for row number 1 all the way to row number 7, it's very straightforward. All we have to do is 23 single crochet in each row. So for this row 1, we will start from the second chain from the hook. So the loop on the hook here doesn't count as a chain. The first chain from the hook is this first V formation you will see from the hook here. So then you skip that one, and then the next one is the second V formation, which is the second chain from the hook. So to do a single crochet, you just insert your hook in that second chain from the hook. Then you pull the yarn with your hook back through this chain. And then at this point, you have 2 loops on your hook. You wrap the yarn around your hook, you pull it through both loops, and this is your single crochet. And then we just continue doing single crochet in each and every chain for a total of 23 for this first row here. So I've completed 3, I have 20 more to go. So I have 5 here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and then 23. So this is row number 1. So in between each and every row for this entire project, you will always chain 1, which is our turning chain, and then you turn your project around. So the chain never counts as a stitch. It's just so that we can turn our project so we can work from the right towards the left. Now, like I said, for the rows all the way to row 7, it's just going to be 23 single crochet in each row. So row 2 again, it's going to be 23 single crochet. You just insert your hook under the first stitch here, and then you do your single crochet. So I have 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and lastly 23. So this is row 2 completed. So then again, we chain 1 in between each row, turn our project around, and we continue row 3. So just go ahead and do row 3 all the way to row 7 with 23 single crochet in each row like this. And then don't forget to chain 1 in between each row and turn your project around. And I will meet you here at the end of row 7 so we can go on and do row 8. So I've completed my rows 1 to 7 here. So we're moving on to row 8. So what we're going to do is after my row 7, I chain 1, of course, and turn my project around. So row 8, we will start with a decrease stitch. So a decrease stitch is basically merging 2 stitches together to form 1 stitch. So what you're going to do is insert your hook under this first stitch here, and then pull your yarn back through the stitch, and then you insert your hook in the second stitch, so the next stitch, and then pull the yarn back through the second stitch. At this point, you have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn around your hook, you pull it through all 3 loops, and this is your decrease stitch. And then we will simply do 7 single crochet, so 1 in each of the next 7 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and that completes row number 8. So what we're going to do, chain 1, turn our project around. So at this point, we're basically building our number 2 to go up diagonally to have that number 2 shape. And for rows 9 all the way to 22, so that's basically 14 rows, we're going to alternate between 2 types of rows. So I'm going to label type A and type B. So we're going to start with the type A. So the type A rows, what we're going to do is an increase stitch as the first stitch. So an increase stitch is basically inserting 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So this very first stitch here, we do 2 single crochet. So 1 and 2. And then we will do 5 single crochet, 1 in each of the next 5 stitch. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then at the very end here, you will have 2 stitches left that are unworked, and this will be a decrease stitch. So merging the last 2 stitches together using the decrease technique. And so this is row number 9, but also the type A row that I mentioned. Now we chain 1, turn our project around. Now we're going on to row 10, and we will do the type B row. So type B row, we will start with a decrease stitch. So merging the first 2 stitches together. And then we will do 5 single crochet, 1 in each of the next 5 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you will have one last stitch at the very end unworked on, and this will be an increase stitch. So insert 2 single crochet in this last stitch. So 1 and 2. And this is row 10 or the type B row. So then we chain 1, turn our project around. So as you can see, if we alternate between type A and type B, it's going to go up diagonally so that we reach the number 2 shape. So since we just did type B, we're going back to type A. So again, type A row, it's going to be an increased stitch as the first stitch. So 2 single crochet in the first stitch. And this is row number 11. So then after that, we do 5 single crochet, 1 in each of the next 5 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then the last 2 stitch here unworked on, it's going to be a decrease stitch. And then this is row number 11 using the type A row. Chain 1, turn your project around. Now row 12, we're moving back to type B. So we start with decrease stitch. Then we do 5 single crochet, 1 in each of the next 5 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lastly, we do an increase stitch at the very last stitch of the row. So 1 and 2. And then, so this is row number 12, chain 1, turn our project around. Since we just completed type B, we're going back to type A again. So I'll just do this one more time before I leave you to do the alternation of type A and B. So type A is increase stitch as the first stitch. So 1 and 2. And then 5 single crochet. And then the last 2 stitch here is a decrease stitch, so we merge them together. And then chain 1, turn our project around. So that was row number 13 and the type A row. So now we're back to row B for the type B for row number 14. So start with the decrease stitch. And then 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then lastly, it's going to be an increased stitch. So 1 and 2. And then that's conclude the type B. So chain 1, turn your project around, and you just continue what we just did, alternating between the type A and B row. So the next row will be back to type A. And then after that, you do B, so A, B, all the way until you reach row number 22. So we did row 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So all you have to do is row 15 all the way to row 22. And row 15 will be back to the type A. And then you do type B all the way to 22. So I'll meet you back here at the end of 22 so we can do 23 and 24 together. So I completed row 22, and now for row 23 and 24, it's just going to be 8 single crochet in each row. So before we do row 23, as always, in between each row, we chain 1, turn our project around. So we just do our 8 single crochet for row 23 here, so 1 in each stitch. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then at the end of the row, we chain 1, turn our project around. Row 24, same thing, 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is row 24. Now we chain 1, turn our project around. For row 25, we're going to start with 7 single crochets, so 1 in each of the first 7 stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then there is this last stitch here. We will do an increase stitch, so 2 single crochet in this last stitch. So 1 and 2. And now we're going to add 15 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So after that, this is basically row number 25. So just turn your project. What we're going to do is work 1 single crochet in each stitch going all the way back. So since we did 15 chain, we always skip the first chain from the hook. So we will have 14 single crochet in this chain area plus 9 single crochet in this solid portion here. So then you should have basically 23 single crochet for row 26. So like I said, the loop on the hook here does not count as a chain. You skip this first stitch here. So the first V formation from the hook, you skip it. Second V formation is the second chain from the hook. Insert your first single crochet in there. So we have 1. And then you just keep going, 1 single crochet in each chain. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14. After your 14 single crochet in this chain portion, you're, like I said, back on this solid portion. So you should have 9 more single crochet here. So this will be the 15th single crochet of the row. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. So this is row number 26 completed. So again, chain 1, turn our project around. So row 27, we will start with a decrease stitch, so merging the first 2 stitches together. Then in the next 19 stitch, we will do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. And then you will have 2 stitches at the very end that are not worked on. So these 2 we will do a decrease stitch, merging them together. So that's row number 27. Chain 1, turn our project around. Row 28, we already again start with a decrease stitch, merging the first 2 stitches together. Then in the next 17 stitch, it's 1 single crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. The last 2 stitch here is going to be a decrease stitch, so merge the last 2 stitch together. And this concludes row number 28. So then chain 1, turn our project around. Row 29, we start again with a decrease stitch, merging the first 2 stitch together. And then in the next 15 stitches, it's just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'm at number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 here. And as you can see, you will have 2 stitches that are left unworked on. You would just do a decrease stitch at the very end, and that concludes row number 29. So again, chain 1 in between each row, turn your project around. Row 30, we will start with a decrease again, so merging the first 2 stitch together. And then in the next 13 stitches, it's 1 single crochet in each stitch. So number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So again, you will see there's 2 stitches at the very end. These 2 is going to be a decrease stitch, so we merge them together. And that concludes your row number 30. And then chain 1, turn your project around. So for row number 31, we will start with a decrease stitch again, so merging the first 2 stitch together. And then in the next 11 stitches, it's 1 single crochet in each stitch. So I'm at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the very last 2 stitches is going to be a decrease stitch, merging the 2 together, and this concludes row 31. Then you chain 1, turn your project around. Now row 32, it's the last row of this part 1 here, it's just going to be 13 single crochet, 1 in each stitch. So 2, I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So this is row 32 and the last of part 1. At this point, we can just cut our yarn. Doesn't need to be too long here. Then you just pull the yarn with your hook like this so it secures the stitch. And this is end of part 1. So after part 1, your number 2 kind of looks like this. You just want to turn it upside down like this so that this portion here is at the bottom. And then remember when we did a row where we basically did 7 single crochet and then we did an increase and we did 15 chains to go all the way across. So these here are chains, and what we want to do is count 10 chains from the left side here and insert our hook under the 10th chain. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So insert your hook under this 10th chain here. At this point, you just take your yarn. I just put it on the hook. Use my finger so that it doesn't come loose. Pull it back through this 10th chain here. So now we can start our row number 1 of part 2, and the first stitch will be a decrease stitch. So we're merging the next 2 chains together, and you just want to make sure that you have 7 chains remaining. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these next 2 chains here, I'll do a decrease stitch. Use your hand to hold on to this loose yarn here, and then insert your hook in the next chain. Pull the yarn through the chain, insert your hook in the following chain, pull the yarn back through. So you have 3 loops on your hook. Wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it through all 3 loops to do your decrease stitch. And then you can use your fingers to pull onto this portion here so that it's very tight. And then we will finish row 1 with 7 single crochet. So insert it in the next chain to do a single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 here. And this is row 1 of part 2. Then you chain 1, turn your project around. Now for row 2 and 3, it's the last rows of this part 2. All we're doing is 8 single crochet in each row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this is row number 2. Then you chain 1, turn your project around. The very last row here, again, 8 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's basically it. Now there's 2 options moving forward. So like I mentioned in the beginning, you need 2 of these flat number 2, so we can put one on top of each other and basically do single crochet on the outer side to merge them together. If this is your first flat number 2, You can feel free and just basically cut your yarn and pull the yarn with your hook like this so that it secures the stitch. But if this is your second number 2, and like me, you already completed 2 of those, do not cut your yarn. We will just simply use this yarn here to merge the 2 pieces together. So take your 2 flat number 2s, put one on top of each other, and it's very important that it's perfectly aligned, one on top. And then if you have these little loose pieces of yarn, you just put them inside the project before you do single crochet so that it's hidden in the project. So to merge 2 pieces, like I said, we're simply doing single crochet. So when it's perfectly aligned, you insert your hook in the next stitch. So from this side to the other side, and then you do your single crochet, just like this. So I have 1. So just all the way on the outer border here. So as you can see, it's merging them together. And then you just continue all around the project. Now, before you shut the project completely, don't forget to put fiber fill in the middle so that it has a 3D effect, or anything you have at home to basically fill a project. So go ahead and do that, and I will meet you back here towards the end to show you how to finish the project. And one last thing I want to mention is when you arrive towards a corner, like if you want the corners to look very sharp, I like to insert 2 single crochet in the corners. So I already have 1 single crochet in the corner, so then I insert a second single crochet in the exact same corner. This will make the corners a bit sharper. But if you just want it round, just continue doing 1 single crochet in each stitch. So once you've done the single crochet all around the project, we will just finish with a slip stitch. So we insert our hook in the next stitch, then we pull the yarn back through the stitch and through the loop on the hook here. And then we can cut our yarn. It doesn't need to be too long. Then pull the yarn with your hook like this, tighten it. Then I just like to use a yarn needle to just hide the yarn inside the project. So it's not sewing or anything. I just put the yarn needle inside the project, bring it anywhere like this, pull it, then I just cut my yarn. And that's how you do a 3D number 2. So as you can see, it was very easy. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more content, and I'll see you soon for another tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.